Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis. It's your boy JG, Entitled Kings Boxing Media. Stop what you're doing right now. Subscribe below. Follow us on Twitter at Entitled Kings Boxing Media. Instagram, Entitled Kings Boxing Media. EntitledKings.com. So we just recently watched Terrance Crawford TKO Jose Benavidez in the 12th round Saturday at ESPN, Top Rank Promotions. And it was a competitive fight all the way up until, I'd say, the later rounds. Middle rounds, about the ninth. Feel like Terrance Crawford was taking over. But, I mean, we actually heard from somebody that has nothing to do with this weight class at all. But, thought that he put his 2 or 3 cents in, and that's Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis has been in the news for other reasons besides boxing. He just recently was reportedly supposed to be under investigation for apparently hitting a woman in a Dallas strip club a few weeks ago. Well, now Tank Davis jumps on Twitter right after the Crawford-Benavidez fights and says, no shade, I don't think Crawford's nothing special. Now, we've heard this a lot from a lot of fighters. This is actually almost word for word what Jose Benavidez said about Crawford in their press conference. But why? I mean, it has nothing to do. It's no benefit for Tank Davis. I mean, he's not in the 147-pound class. Yes, he is a great friend of Errol Spence Jr. and Adrian Broner, who could possibly fight Terrance Crawford in the future. But Tank Davis, man, this has nothing to do. Like, you're speaking on another man's win, and you saying he's nothing special. There's a lot of folks that don't think there's a lot special about you, and you've yet to be exposed because of the level of competition you face at this point in your career. Now, I'm a big Gervonta Davis fan. I think he's highly skilled, strong, and could possibly be one of the greats. But at the same time, I don't feel like he's fought the competition, the level of competition he should have fought, being a 2-time world champion. Now, I can't say this. Another thing that bothers me is that, it gets to a point to where you got to start worrying about your own situation. And when I say that, I mean this. At any kind of weight class, at 130, at 135, 47, you got to be responsible for who you fight in competition. Now, Tevin Farmer's been calling out Gervonta Tank Davis for over the last 6 months, we could easily say. And now, they had the little scuffle in the run-in Vegas where Gervonta Davis had told Tevin Farmer, you don't have a belt. You fought. You got 4 losses on your record. Well, I mean, Tevin Farmer has a belt. Very highly skilled fighter. Had a hand injury, bounced back from it, won a world title, and has called you out and hasn't bit his tongue one time when it came to fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. So, Gervonta Tank Davis, you talk about Terrance Crawford, you need to be talking about Tevin Farmer, because it looks like he could possibly be your next fight after whoever you schedule to fight coming up. Now, hopefully you fighting a name. The only name that I can really say that Tank Davis has fought at this moment is probably Jose Pedraza. And, Pedraza being a world champion at the time, Tank dominated him. But like I said, man, for you to say Terrance Crawford's nothing special, that's a lie. You name me 5 or 6 guys that can fight left-handed and right-handed and have no flaws. And I'll wait. Now, Tank, you obviously a natural southpaw, and Crawford's not. But what he does as a southpaw is incredible, and what he's done as a southpaw has been incredible. He's swept a whole division. He's been a 3-class world champion. And what have you done? So, like I said, man, for Tank Davis to come out and say, hey, he sees nothing special, he's probably talking about he thinks Earl's going to walk Crawford down, which a lot of people do. But, man, listen, it's not your weight class to be speaking on, man. Speak on them 130s and 135s. And them Lomachenko's, Tevin Farmers, and everybody else. A lot of competition at that weight class. But like I said, at the end of the day, I feel like, Gervonta Tank Davis is going to do and say whatever the hell he wants to say. For years, we've seen this kid, highly skilled, and I'm talking about Terrance Crawford now, come up, dominate a 140-pound division. Undisputed, beating unified guys, world champions, putting down guys, knocking guys down, knocking guys out. It's not just the guys that he's fighting, it's how he's beating these guys. And like I said, you got to salute Terrance Crawford. Hope to see Gervonta take Davis' next fight. Hope he's fighting a well-known name, and I hope it's a challenge for him. And would like to see him, fight it in a little of the later rounds, maybe just to see a little bit more skill. I mean, we all know that he can knock you out he has knockout power in both hands. But let's see what he can do down the road, down the rounds, the end of the rounds, if he has to. Otherwise, he can keep knocking them out as far as my concern. Because like I say, ain't no better way to control the fight than knocking the guy out and keeping out the judge's hands. It's your boy JG, Entitled Kings Boxing Media. Man, stop what you're doing right now and subscribe below. Follow us on Twitter at Entitled Kings Boxing Media, Instagram Entitled Kings Boxing Media, EntitledKings.com. We out.